How's it going, everyone? I know it's been a few years now since the PlayStation Portal first came out, but I never got around to getting it. Until now. So, even though I'm late, today I'm going to give my full review on the PlayStation Portal, and if you're still on the fence about getting it yourself, maybe this video will help you decide. Starting with one of the most important parts about reviewing the PlayStation Portal is unboxing it. And it's honestly surprising how many boxes there were. They just kept coming. First we get the USB-C charging cord, but then we get the PlayStation Portal itself, and man, this is massive. It is actually crazy how much bigger this is in person. The screen is absolutely huge. The setting up process was pretty easy, but very long. That might sound confusing, but what I mean is there wasn't much for me to do, which is why it was easy, but it was long because there was just a lot of downloading and updating, which is fine because in the meantime of it downloading and updating things, I was able to subscribe to GameWise and watch one of their newest videos. Once it was finally done installing and updating things and restarting, I was finally able to connect it to my PlayStation and try it out. I did want to give it around 24 hours before I actually made this review, just so I truly knew how I felt about it. And I can say after 24 hours, it is absolutely incredible. Not only was I able to play my PlayStation downstairs as my food was cooking, it just also makes nighttime gaming so much better because you can play right before you're about to go to bed while being in bed, instead of sitting at a desk or having a huge TV on. But I just cannot get over how big this is. Obviously, it's not a problem how big it is. I think it is literally the perfect size. Any bigger, it would have been a problem. I was also surprised that it had adaptive triggers like the controllers. I don't know why. I just kind of felt like this wouldn't have those, but I'm glad it did. The joysticks are also pretty nice for being this small. I somehow have not experienced that many frame drops or lagging issues, which is surprising seeing as it's just a casting device of my PlayStation. Which, if you've ever used a PlayStation casting app on your phone, that can a lot of the times be a big issue. Some of the games I played were Spider-Man Miles Morales, Skate, and mostly Astro's Playroom. In fact, I've played more of Astro's Playroom on this PlayStation Portal in the last 24 hours than I have in the entire time I've had my PlayStation. I find it to be much more enjoyable on the PlayStation Portal than on the PlayStation on a big TV. As somebody that's had a Nintendo Switch, obviously Nintendo Switch and this cannot be compared because they're not even close to being similar. The only thing you really can compare the two in is how they look and feel, because they look very similar. And this is much more comfortable to hold than the Nintendo Switch, because the Switch's Joy-Cons can get very tiring to hold after some time, and they're extremely small, so it can actually be very hard to click the buttons sometimes. I have not had that problem with the PlayStation Portal. Its controllers are small, while still being big enough to click the buttons easily and move the joysticks. And they're extremely comfortable. So overall, I would highly recommend the PlayStation Portal. It is a great addition to your PlayStation 5 if you have the money. So if you're still on the fence about getting this, I definitely think you should get it. The question is, what games am I going to play on it? Well, if I was looking for some games, I would probably watch this video right here, which shows a few free PlayStation 5 games you've never heard of. And then I would watch this video right here, which is kind of similar to this video, except with the PlayStation 5 Pulse Elite headset. I would definitely go watch both these videos if you enjoyed this one, and hopefully I'll see you next time.